Welcome to the Center of Light Radio with spiritual teacher, intuitive, musician, composer, and best-selling author of The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth, your host, Keith Anthony Blanchard.
Tonight's burst of light is called Shift Happens. Shift happens from attitude to altitude. Attitude from these positions, these postures, attitude. Screw you, negativity, drama, king or queen. This low stuff, really, really low stuff. Just having an attitude about life. One that's just not congruent with where you really want to go. And where you really want to grow. People wonder, why do these things keep happening to me? Because of the attitude. The attitude is not necessarily about what a person says. That's a manifestation of the attitude. But the attitude is their disposition about everything. Just attitude. You got a pissed off attitude about this, that, and they feel that they are owed something. No one owes you anything. None of this is real. It's all self-created. Everything ever created, where do you experience it? Inside of yourself. Where are you hearing my voice and processing it? Inside of yourself. Where do you take in anything that happens in the outside world to make it reality? Inside of yourself. God lives here. So if God is creator and all it does is shine the light through us, whatever that filter is, attitude gets projected, and they stay continuously in attitude because they feel it protects them from the world. They feel that's how they cope with the world, and the cards that they feel they are being dealt, but they don't realize that no one's playing the game but themselves, and the hand they're dealing is theirs. That's what they don't get because of attitude or being depressed. I am in no way insinuating that depression is not something that needs to be addressed and falls under the umbrella of attitude, because it's a very real condition. Ask someone who has it. They'll tell you. You can see it in their eyes. I had it, and I know. And that's why I have the license to speak about it. But I also know as a spiritual teacher, depression can be an attitude. You can just see people constantly depressed, and it's not really deep-set depression. It's more of an attitude. These types of things fall under attitude. And someone who might be just cranky all the time, not necessarily angry with the world, just cranky, it's attitude. So what we really want to begin to do is realize it's not serving any purpose whatsoever. In fact, it's throwing you more into the illusion, the dilemma, the reality, self-created dilemma, illusion, and reality. And that's really where you not want to be. You want to be altitude. You want to be up. We all want to go up. It's a metaphor for God. It's a metaphor for heaven. Talk about angels having wings, flight. We in awe when we watch eagles soar. The bald eagle represents freedom. We want to go up, don't we? But here's the gig. We don't have to die to go up. That's what heaven on earth is about. That's what the whole prophecy is about. Seek ye the kingdom of God within first. Do not say lo here nor lo there. It's attitude. So we need to begin to pull this veil back. In fact, dissipate it. Or flat out, if I could speak frankly, just stop it. If you want to get out of drama, look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Mirror technique is phenomenal. What do I need to change about my life? It will tell you. That voice inside of your conscience will tell you. You want to talk to God? Look in a mirror and speak out loud into it and see what thoughts fall into your consciousness when you're looking in your own eyes. It will show you where the work lies. There you go. That's a good word. Lies, as in fibbing, as in telling a lie. But that's where the work lies. And that's the truth. That's where the truth of the work is. And that's where it lies. It's a good little conundrum. I can put that in a dialogue. If you want to change something about yourself, look in the mirror and say, I love myself. Look in your own eyes and say that. And very likely a thought's going to crop up in your consciousness that says, only if. You have been given a direct piece of information by God when that only if speaks to you. I love myself completely. Only if. And that only if will tell you when you lose that extra weight, when you stop doing this, when you start doing that. You do this often, this exercise often. And in between the intervals of doing the mirror technique, once a week. Spend 5 minutes in the mirror. Do it once a week. And when that only if shows up, it tells you exactly what you need to do. So what you need to do for the week is work on it. And then go back to the mirror and do it again. And then you will find this lie dwindling. And when you finally do this over whatever duration of time, you look in the mirror and say, I love myself. When that only if does not crop up, it's clear. Now a new one may show up, but you keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. The mirror is about reflection. When we look at ourselves honestly, as if we were other people looking at us, we may think that we got someone else looking at this person named Keith, becomes honest. That's a pipeline to God. It's a pipeline to source. Absolutely. So we want to move into altitude. Is like a driving force. And when we can wield that light sword, that lightsaber, wield that tool, that attitude powerfully, with balance and correctly, there's nothing that this lightsaber couldn't do. It's attitude. It's how much ass you put in your will. It's how much oomph you intend things to be. It's how much sincerity, your love would be sincerity, but also your love, the fire, your passion. It's attitude and all those different facets of the one diamond of attitude. Now you have an attitude of altitude. Completely two different things. The reason I'm doing this burst of live feed tonight on this subject is because look on Facebook, dear Lord, look what these people are posting. No judgment, of course. It's an open ground for everybody to express themselves. I get it. And that's how it should be. And if these people are posting from their heart, even though it's about lowercase attitude, you're passionate about it, you got something to say, speak your mind, speak your heart. But also, it's a sounding board, it's a barometer, it's a measuring stick that says, wow, look where the populace is going. Look what they're believing. Look what they're experiencing. And we wish that to be different for them, but also for the collective. But I'm truly speaking about people who are posting things for the sake of posting things. Because they're looking to get on board with something. I get that. We all want to be a part of something. And that's awesome. So if you happen to stumble upon this live feed, because as I mentioned when I started this Burst of Light live feed on shift is happening from attitude to altitude, it's because of the post. If what I say resonates to you, I invite, hope, support, reinforce, that you take this in simply, honestly. If you're wanting to change, if there's something about, look, if you're around friends who are just always full of drama, you can always say that, at least I don't have drama anymore in my life. And that's cool, but so I still want to hang around with my friends. I get it. But if you don't want drama in your life, and people are around you all the time that are always in drama, then you have drama in your life. It may not be your direct drama, but it is holding you back, can hold you back from altitude, from lifting, from being aloft. Because, let's use this analogy, the chain is only as strong as its weakest link. I'm not implying that your friends or your loved ones that you like to hang around with are weak. That is not what I'm implying whatsoever. I'm talking about taking responsibility for one's own spiritual development, growth, and expansion into altitude. And in so doing, everything begins to follow suit. Begins to follow suit. And it all starts with the right password to pop this stargate open. It has a password. And that is two things: sincerity and responsibility. Sincerity and responsibility. And when you begin to see those people around you, without judgment, but for what it is, we have a new perspective. It's like looking in that mirror. We are seeing from another perspective our unit that we associate with. By no means am I saying divorce your friends or your family. So don't take it out of the context of which it is intended, please. Because I won't own it, because I'm being honest. And speaking about altitude attitude, capital A, if you know me, or if you come to know me by watching Facebook, social media, however you know me, even personally, often when I do these bursts of light live feeds, I talk about myself. I have my ego like everybody else, but not when I do this work. I don't. I talk about my life in these ways of achieving states of altitude attitude is because of those two words, those two passwords: sincerity and responsibility. And when a person is 100% sincere about taking responsibility for their life, the stargate opens up. And it can happen in a moment. And when you get good at this, it stays all the time. The gate is just constantly open. So when you take sincerity and you put your all into wanting to claim 100% responsibility for your life, all of it, does not mean that you condone other people's bad behavior. But Keith, you don't understand. John Doe, Jill Doe did this to me the other day, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to condone other people's behavior. They're an asshole, they're an asshole. But it does mean that in a said relationship, if we don't change it, it goes to round 2, and round 3, and round 4, and round 5. So when we take responsibility, even for our sicknesses, illnesses, diseases, on all levels, none of them exempt, on all levels, when we take responsibility for our life, and we put down the victimization. Keith, I was in this restaurant the other day, or this nightclub the other night, minding my own business, and some guy walked up to me and sucker punched me. That does happen in nightclubs. Take responsibility. Stop going to nightclubs. This is just an analogy, an example. Stop going to nightclubs. We just eliminated a big wedge of the pie in taking such responsibility to not ever have this manifest in my life ever again. Ever. This applies on all levels. If drama is happening in your life, if you are constantly being sickly, whatever the reason is, that life is not going for you as row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. If you are paddling upstream like a salmon, you will find out that when you get to the top of the stream, that a bear will eat your ass. There's nothing you want upstream. Nothing. Says Abraham Hicks. Nothing you want is upstream. So you don't even have to stop paddling and go the other way. You just put your oars down and the current will turn you. And downstream you go merrily, merrily, merrily. That is how you fall into the cosmic flow, the cosmic life stream, the cosmic life consciousness. There is only a flow in the universe. There is no non-flow. And we are either in the flow or we're not. It's that easy. So when we take 100% responsibility for everything, the people we hang out with, the events that happen to us repeatedly, the illnesses that happen to us repeatedly, the injuries that happen repeatedly, just whatever. Look what's on your Facebook wall, on your own personally. That is another reflection, your sounding board by, I'm the one responsible for friending these people. Quote, these people. Heck, people might have the same idea about me. Trust me, I don't doubt it. But the idea, it's a sounding board. How much stuff is going on in your feed? So I brought this all up to tell you that when I do these feeds, I'll often talk about myself. And it's because I'm giving this time, burst of light videos, my life's work. I put many, many years, many, many hours all day long. And I know this works. It works beyond what a person could possibly imagine. And there's nothing to it because that's the point. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do. There's no place you have to go. There's no place you have to be. There's nothing to do except shift and make it happen. Shifts happen versus shit happens. Take the F out, the F-bomb out of it. And then it becomes shit. Shit happens. Or does shift happen? I support shift happen. So Keith, are you saying it can truly just be something like this? It's really that easy. In fact, that is how you do it. It's finding a point of focused awareness, center awareness, being centered, calling up something in your consciousness and targeting it and tickling it and massaging it and playing with it and exciting it and rubbing it and naming it George and taking it home. But it's just a shift, truly. It's a simple shift, like right now. Try this. We think our awareness and our consciousness is in our head because that's where most of our sensory input is. The smell, taste, seeing, hearing. That's not where your consciousness is. Your consciousness is all around you. It's in your light field. These are only the receptors that pulls in these vibratory energies. So what I want you to do is just become aware of yourself right now. Just be aware. You're conscious. You know you're conscious. Now I'm going to make you conscious of being conscious. Check this out. You're conscious. I exist. I'm conscious. I'm aware. Now the way you become aware of yourself being aware, which creates a circle, you used to take a microphone and put it in front of a speaker. There's that feedback noise that people plug their ears for, right? It creates an expansion. That's why you hear the noise. Well, when you become aware of your own awareness, for example, going back to the microphone, the sound that goes into the microphone comes out of the speaker, goes back into the microphone, out of the speaker, and it creates a loop. So when you become conscious of your own consciousness, you exist in a hyper expanded state of reality. Check this out. So you're conscious, right? And you're listening to my voice. Use your will, your free will. Powerful analogy that I just mentioned. Free. You have the free choice to do so. Use your free will to project your consciousness here. Just do it. Hear me from this spot. Feel from this spot. Intuit from this spot. Experience this video, live stream, from this spot. And I know that you know you exist in that place. And you forgot about the very fact that you lived in your head. That is a shift of monumental proportions. I've been doing this so long, I truly am this, I would say, if I was to use my arms to describe what it feels like to be me versus when I was younger and what it felt like to be me, maybe just bodily aware, maybe a little bit of awareness, until I went through this shift of piss poor attitude to absolute passionately sincere altitude. I can feel myself truly from an aware space of the size of one's auric field. That is an absolute fact. So I'm telling you this, not from a bragging point of view, but from a place of confidence that this is something I'm handing you. We all can do it. Some people don't care about it, and that's okay. Some people not sure how to go about it. Some people don't have the time to apply their lives in such a way. And some people, they not only want to go up, metaphor for in, which is God, angels, heaven, angelic, up. They want higher than up. They want way higher than up. There's no altitude high enough. So it is a simple shift. Now, a lot of you might be here that are very well on your spiritual path. It makes my heart sing. But even though we all still have things we wrestle with, whatever that one thing is right now, be it money, at least for the moment, doesn't mean you're a money person. Money is very, very useful. And that right now happens to be your dilemma. Money. When we want, desire, choose money, and we use the Stargate as the way to launch. God lives here, so everything that comes through. Put your consciousness here. I'm channeling this right now. It's because the situations we're in is because of lowercase attitude. So we want to shift that. Like the exercise we did a minute ago, just shift. Place your consciousness here. Let your attitude be there about your money or your job or your boyfriend or whatever it is. Let it be there. Don't try to shut it off. Just be aware of it and know it's there. Now you make your consciousness shift to your heart. You'll feel your heart because your consciousness will be located here, so you feel it. You'll feel more in your own essence. And then use the password, sincerity, dash responsibility. Actually, see a login form. So here we go. Allow your attitude to be there about your job, your money, this or that. Shift your consciousness to the heart. See a login box like you'd see on the internet. Sign your name to it. Sign your name to it in your mind's eye or in your heart space when you visualize. Sign your name to it. And you actually do this with your hands. Hit the enter button. When you fill out the password, fill out sincerity dash responsibility and hit enter. I'm telling you, this metaphor is real. Real. And immediately you will be launched to a place of altitude. No joke. No joke. Keep doing this and you become aware of this space not only when you do the exercise, when it becomes a part of you and you integrate this altitude attitude, it's second nature. That's automatic pilot. That's one thing less you have now to do because it does it for you. That's how you move through this. It's another way of creating your life is when we shift from our attitude about things. Oh, the Islam people are doing this, or oh, the white people are doing that, or the black people. That's just piss poor attitude. Everybody has something positive to donate to the world. I saw a post the other day that says, I can do 100 things perfect and everybody ignores it. But when I do one thing screwed up, everybody is all over it like white on rice. That's attitude. It's actually racist. If you're racist against someone's way of, if you're against someone's way of life, like it or not, that is racism because my group of people don't like your group of people. It's racism. So that's really about acceptance. Leave people alone. Just leave people alone and they will group together and they will have their attitude. But when you chime in on that stuff, you become a part of that attitude drama. So if you want that stuff to leave your life, leave that stuff alone in your life. And when we start taking this on, we start shifting from attitude to altitude. And your life will be expanded. You'll have the right job. You'll be living your passion. My life is a reflection of that. But some people just don't choose it. They don't. Now that is the reason, as I mentioned earlier, why I did this for you tonight. With the hope not to fix people because no one is broken. Because that would be racism if I insinuated that. But nonetheless, it's my way of saying I care. I absolutely care about people. In fact, without any doubt, and unequivocally, I know that's the reason I was born, was to hand over something that changed my life. My deceased sister, who had a condition many years ago, taught me that. She taught me how to care. Compassion that was taught to me was altitude. She taught me something very, very valuable. That's why when she left, or became invisible, as I say, it didn't hurt. Because she became me. I was her. We were each other. Because what she gave me lives in me. I didn't feel the disconnect because to me, she didn't die. It lives in me, as me, with me, for me, through me. And so that's how powerful my handicapped sister was. My handicapped sister changed me and in turn changes other people, as we all do. We all change people. And it's about living in a heightened altitude. So thank you very much for this burst of light in your presence. I'm going to open up a Q&A. Hope you liked it. It was a lot of fun for me. I'm going to refresh real quick. Hello, Angela Langford Smith. Hello, LaDonna. Faye. Tish. Let me go in the room. That way I can see people's posts. Let me see who's in the room. I love acknowledging people. Not because I want to see who saw me. I want to see you. And I like knowing whoever is here so we can all connect as a force. I'm telling you, there's power in numbers. That's why it's important to get out of people with drama. And they're all women. Oh my God. Wow. I'm flattered. I'm also being a flirt. But it is funny. But no, actually, I think it's very powerful. For that fact alone. Because it's feminine energy. Women take on the divine feminine a lot easier than men do. Well, first of all, it's default. You are feminine as you were born. So you already have that going on for you. And to the however much deeper to the level that you are in your femininity, the more woman you are, right? And there are some women who have masculine attributes and vice versa. Guys are big, strong, manly men, and some guys have some feminine properties. And so, but maybe the fact that this room is full of divine feminine right now, kind of adds to the power of the gathering of this video. And well, absolutely, you helped me channel this energy by your presence. By your presence. In fact, there are many old scriptural texts that say that Jesus was being crucified. Those three women you see at the bottom of the cross on the ground, as they were holding open a stargate for Jesus to pass through as he ascended. People lived around Jesus. They learned all these spiritual gifts, and he was the master. And a lot of these people ascended as well. Mary, Virgin Mary, many of the disciples, all of, so the femininity, the divine feminine, was said to be at the feet, humbling themselves to the light, Jesus, the burst of light, right? And so that these three women, the number three is very important. They opened up the Stargate by being there and being the anchor. So that's what you did. And I love that dance between us. That's really, really cool. Ava says, wow, that's interesting. Or I think you might be speaking about the three women at the bottom of the cross. I don't know, but you can bet it's in the Mary Magdalene, divine feminine kind of keywords that you would look up on Google. Three women at the bottom of the cross of Jesus' crucifixion. Divine feminine would be another keyword in that same box. Three women, Stargate, holding the light down. Just play with the idea. You'll get a feel for it. The search results will guide you to where to go. Beautiful wisdom you shared. Thank you, Renee. You're lovely. I appreciate your support. LaDonna Pressgrove, yes, committed at the cross. They were compassionate. They were conduit. Stargate, great way for me to take in the field. Yeah, it's just an opening. It's an opening, a vacuum, but not a violent one or an aggressive one. It's just a vacuum. It's a current that wants to just pull you in this swirl effortlessly and easily. And so if this video, when it's done shortly, you feel it can just help someone who actually not because from there something's wrong, but that they deserve better, that they might actually watch this. Maybe you can put a comment at the end like, oh, I watched this last night and it really resonated with me. If it did, take a look. Somebody's life could change. They can become happier. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. I love you. I look forward to seeing you, and have a blissful evening, because I will.